Los, what's good? What is good, everybody? What's going on? Let me plug this thing in over here. How y'all feeling tonight? I'm just chilling. Just finished up kicking it with the family. And I figured I'd hop on with y'all, man, for a little bit. I feel like I'm getting on later and later every night. I gotta set a designated time to get these things rolling so we not on here till midnight and all this extra stuff. Cause, bro, I swear, like you be thinking, like, man, time don't fly as fast as it do. I promise you, like, we hop on and it just be moving. What you mean feeling like AD? What AD? There's so many ADs. What I think AD got he got the flu or something. So you say you feeling like you got the flu? I seen he had he left the game early tonight. He didn't get to play too long. I think after the first quarter, Braun still dropped like 20 something points, 21, 22 points, 17 rebounds. I think like 4 assists. Yeah, Anthony Davis. Yeah, I figured that's what you're talking about. That boy Anthony Davis be getting hurt. I swear all the time. But he been on a crazy tear here. What was that, last week? He dropped like 40 something points. Came back after that, dropped 55. You know, as you can see, you know what I'm saying. I mess with the Lake Show, but it'd be hard to watch. It'd be hard to watch. I haven't even been watching a whole lot. I've been following a lot on YouTube. I'll go on and check out the scores, check out some highlights if people say something happened. But yeah, I'm just kicking it tonight, man. If y'all ain't gonna be on long, I ain't gonna be on long. Any questions, Carlos? Any questions you may have? I think we got somebody else on here too. Um, Anything barbering related, life related, anything. I just came to just chop it up, check in with y'all, see how everybody doing. I think I'm gonna have to do. I gotta finish up this tutorial that I started as well, so I'm probably gonna be working on that when I get off tomorrow for a little bit. Try to get the voiceover banged out and move along with it because honestly, I've been sitting on this video for a long time. It's the same one the one with the kid that I showed you guys the other day, and it's man, it is a really nice haircut, but I hate the video quality didn't. Well, the video looks good, but there's times where like he just was out of focus because he's a little kid and he's like moving all back and forth, side to side, and I had to do some crazy like it's to me it's some of the craziest angles that I have on a video, but I actually like the angle. So it's like some overhead views. It's actually pretty dope. I don't see a lot of YouTube videos tutorial shot like this, so I like how it was shot. The video quality looks really good. It's just I had to cut a lot of it out because of the focus situation. So you starting your first shop? Oh yeah, you told me. So you starting your first shop Monday. How you feeling, bro? How you feeling about starting the shop? Is this your first? Yeah, your first shop. So yeah, how you feeling about going into the shop for the first time? Any barbershop for the first time? Like you nervous, you excited, you happy, you all of the above. Like what you think, Lois? Like how you feeling about that, man? I know I'll be feeling a little bit of all of that. I probably like a kid on their first day of school or something, or back to school, bro. I have my outfit out, laid on the bed. I'm starting to shop tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'll be something like that. I wasn't nervous, but I've been cutting for a minute. Okay, that's what it comes down to. It's the same thing every time. I don't care whose hair you're cutting. It's always the same thing. It's you cutting hair. It don't matter if they're a celebrity, NBA player, NFL player. It's like, bro, once you know what to do and you've been doing it, like you don't even think twice. So people be asking me like, man, when you cut such and such hair, like how'd you feel? Were you nervous? I'm like, bro, I cut hair for a living. Like this is what I do. them cats, you know, they get out on the field, football field, bro, and they do their thing, or they get on the NBA court, they do their thing. Like, this is where I do my thing. So I don't care who it is. I cut hair for a living, and you have hair. You just gonna, you know, just because you make millions, that don't mean nothing. I cut hair, so yeah, you're gonna be all right, bro. How long you been cutting now? We do. I'm gonna interview you, Carlos. We interviewing Carlos right now. How long you been cutting, Carlos? Especially, did you finish barber school? Did you go to barber school? Are you where do you live at? Are you in Canada? I know some of you guys are like in places where you don't have to have a license to work in a barber shop. There is no license to be a barber. You just go and cut hair. So, um, where are you at? Like, how is this? How has the process been? How is the process wherever you're from? Do you gotta have a license? Do you have a license? Are you bootlegging? Like, because I know some places where they just like, man, shoot, I'm trying to get barbers in here. I'm gonna put them on commission. They ain't got no license, so hey, if you see somebody come out with a clipboard, run out the bag. um, okay, so apprentice, and you've been cutting hair seriously for 6 years. Dope. See, in Texas there is no apprenticeship, and I really wanted to do an apprenticeship. I felt like that would have helped out a lot, but I guess it just depends on the individual who you're working under. My question is to you: how did you find the shop? How did you find the person uh, who you're going to apprentice under? What was that process like? Sandman, are you asking me where I'm located? I'm in Dallas, Texas. Yes, yes, I'm in Dallas. Um, and Carlos is in Pennsylvania, and they offer apprenticeships there. So here in Texas, there's no apprenticeship program. You have to go in. When I went to barber school, it was 1,500 hours, but now it is like 900 hours. So you can get a license pretty fast here. I think that's still a lot of time, but it's fast in comparison. You know, you going it don't take long for you to get your license in Texas. That's honestly that's less than a year's time. Like my program was a year. That was at a year where it took me to get 1,500 hours. First thing you had to do once you enrolled, it was crazy. We started off with a lot of book work, and they would not let you get on the floor um, until you've actually got the bookwork done, and then they gave you some clippers. Let's see. Oh, right down the street. Then. You right down the street from me, or you right down the street from Carlos, Sam, man? Okay, so Carlos has been going to this individual for a while now, and he's interested, and he told him about being an apprentice, and it's finally going to happen. You need 1,250 hours to be an apprentice. So, with that apprenticeship, is there a test that you have to take at the end of it? I honestly don't know how apprenticeships work. Um, I'm not sure at all. I don't because for us, what we had to do was once I got 1,000 hours, then we were able to go and take the written exam. And then after you take your written exam and you pass that, then you get 500 more hours from school. Then you could go and take your practical, which consisted of everything from cutting with a straight razor. I think now in Texas you have to do a manicure on some nails. You have to. We had to do a roller set, like just three different techniques for rollers. You had to do a shampoo service. You had to cut hair. Now they want you to freehand on the haircut portion. All we had to do was show like a tapered section, so it didn't have to be like a ball fade. You could do a 3 down to a 1 or whatever. You know, you just had to show that you were making the hair go gradually from longer to shorter. And yeah, that was pretty much the practical. And as long as you didn't cut nobody up and have somebody leaking or or drop something on the ground, pick it up, and start using it on someone. Like for the most part, it was super simple. One piece of advice that I would give to anybody that's in barber school or considering going to barber school is when it's approaching time for you to start thinking about going to take your practical, be someone's model. I did it twice just so I could be comfortable with, going into that room. I didn't want to be like, hey, I've never been in here. I don't know exactly what they're expecting other than what my school and some of my friends have told me. No, I wanted to be in the room and look at all the other people that are nervous. And I did it twice. So by the time I went, it was all good. Like, I wasn't nervous. I'm like, bro, I done been in here twice before. I know they don't really care. Simply J. Marie says, what up, sister? Are you going to open your own barber college? I'm not against that idea. Like, I definitely, I got some on my shirt. I definitely would not mind that. If the opportunity presents itself, that's not something I'm actively pursuing at the time. But if it presented itself and it just seemed more and more like a reality, then I would pursue it. Currently, there's some things that that I told you that I want to do, and I still want to do that thing, but right now I'm getting all my financials together. I got a CPA hired, and we just went through the onboarding process for that, and we do classes every Monday. If you guys aren't familiar with it, you guys know Chris Bazio, Tune 45. Well, Tune 45 has services called Pi, and Pi, a part of their service is Pi Accounting. And so I've linked up with them, and I'm doing all the accounting stuff through there right now. And I got all my bank stuff transferred over. They got me. I already had QuickBooks, but I canceled the one that I had because they have actually a better version of it, higher paid version than what I was paying for when I was using it. That I have access to. What's up, Nate? What's going on, bro? Um, yeah, it's been pretty cool. So we have a whole little app that if there are any like client tasks, anything they need me to do, they can write me on that app and it'll come to my phone. It also goes to my email and just notifies me like, hey, connect this or add your bank statements from last month and all that kind of stuff. So that's just something that you guys will be looking forward to doing once you get rolling. If you aren't a barber already, just know that it's coming because you want to keep track of your income. You want to make sure that you are paying your taxes so that you guys can buy a home, that you guys can buy vehicles and not have to try to pay everything cash. You got to get on paper, man. A lot of us, we want to avoid it. We want to just, say, hey, man, just pay me cash. And that way the government don't know what you're getting and they out of your business and you just doing whatever you want. But when it comes down to doing things with the government, then they're only going to recognize that you're not making that much money. You won't have proof of income. Your taxes are your proof of income. So whenever I pay my taxes every year, that's how I prove whenever, whatever I would have to do if I want to go get a loan or something, I take my tax return. This is how much I made for last year and the year before that. Typically, they want to see at least 2 years of tax returns when you're dealing with financial institutions like your banks and all those different things, where you want to get a mortgage or a personal loan or an auto loan or anything like that. So I don't know how I got on that, but yeah. So yeah, so the CPA thing. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and so I'm putting some of my ideas on hold until I get all that taken care of because that's a big part of running my business. It has to be run effectively. It has to be run properly. If you guys if you're already cutting hair, I advise you get 2 bank accounts. Separate your money, your personal from your business money. So anything that you make, let's say you accept Cash App or Apple Pay, all of those things, you want to make sure that that money goes directly into an account where it's only your business's money. You don't use that for anything else. That's called, what is it called? Commingling funds. You don't want to be commingling your funds because you're not going to be seen or taken serious as a business. If you have if you're a sole proprietor, or if you're a S corp, C corp, any of those things, like if you are commingling your funds, then if you ever were to get sued, you have no protection. Your LLC has it's no protection for you, because any lawyer will be able to do what's called piercing the corporate wall, and they'll be able to get you and hold you liable, even though you have a limited liability company. They will be able to come after you because they can see that, look, you're mixing the money. You and your business are one. It's not separate. You just made a purchase for this, and it has nothing to do with that. You're using this business card or this account that you say is for business. You're using it for personal use. So um, that's the process. What I'm at right now, getting everything set up. I've got, like I said, I got my CPA. I got an S corp. I got multiple business accounts, business credit cards. So right now I'm just working on everything is separate now, but just working on getting everything situated so that the next step everything goes smooth. So just a little financial advice for you guys that may be already in the industry, and you're taking money and you're putting it all into one account or anything like that. Have two accounts. Just let everything for the business go there. And if you have any purchases that you want to make, just transfer that money over to the other account. It ain't got to be a separate bank. It could just be a separate account. And that's what they're going to have you do anyway once you get to that level where you're looking to hire a CPA or anything like that. But yeah, so that's what I'm on right now. So I figured I'd tell you guys just a little bit about that, because it's super duper important. And there are so many tax benefits that are going to come my way by going ahead and becoming a S corp, and I'm going to save a lot of money, man. After last year when I paid my taxes and I wrote off everything I could possibly think of, and man, I still ended up paying a lot of money in taxes. So I was like, you know what, this is it. That's my last year. I cannot do this anymore. I need to get me a CPA. I got to have somebody that is professional, that knows tax codes, that knows the loopholes, because there are plenty of loopholes. A lot of people was mad at Donald Trump because he utilized the loopholes. And they're like, man, I paid more, a higher percentage than Trump did in taxes, and he's a millionaire. Yeah, he has a really, really, really good accountant. And that's what they do. That's what the rich do. So how do you pay yourself, like hourly or what? So I take out what's called a, I can't remember the technical name for it, distribution. So I distribute, so my company and I are separate. I'm an employee of my company, and so I just but I'm also the owner. So I haven't set up the portion. That's the next thing that we have to do. The next thing we're going to do is, now that they've been looking into how I run, I'm waiting for them to get back with me, and we're going to set up payroll so that I get paid a check, and then the check won't be like the full amount, like of what I actually make. It'll be whatever we decide is the amount that I'm going to get paid, weekly or bi-weekly, however I set it up. But I can also take out distributions outside of that. And so what it's doing is it's avoiding me having to pay, what is it? I think it's like a payroll tax, or like Social Security and all that kind of stuff. I think it's, there's two different tax things that you have to pay, and they're both like 15% or 7%. But by doing this, basically you're knocking half of that off. I can't remember exactly how it was broken down. We do these classes every Monday where they're basically teaching us, where I don't feel like I necessarily have to know it because I'm paying the accountant to know this stuff, but it's pretty dope. So like I said, you guys know Bazio, he's huge on education. So we have these classes every Monday on Zoom calls, and we go over different like accounting and business topics, where just for an hour, and they're breaking all these different things. Um, it's a lady that's over the whole accounting. It's her and some other accountants that are in the firm. They all meet with us, and we just chop it up. It's usually like 20 something to 30 people on the call. And if you have any questions, we just, you raise your hand and you say whatever your question is, and they break it down for the whole group. So, yeah, so I don't know exactly how much I'm going to be paying myself, but I just know that if I need anything outside of that amount, I can always take a owner distribution from the account. And that's what I've been currently doing since I'm not receiving payroll just yet. We haven't started payroll for me. So, yeah. So I just take out whatever I need. Like, okay, I'm going to pay these bills plus grocery shop. And I make a list of everything that I need. And then I just take that amount out the account. And I pay for everything that I need to pay for. Yes, Carlos, send me some pictures of your new haircuts, bro. I got my phone right here. I got everything, and we can check that out. Anybody else have any questions about that process of taxes or anything like that? Yeah, man. Sandman says that's nuggets. Yeah, bro. Like, it's a whole nother thing to be a professional barber that has a business versus just being a barber that has a license that works in a shop. It's a whole bunch more that comes into it. And the thing I like about Pi Accounting is with all this information that they give us, um, they're also doing, what do you call that? Like financial planning for you as well. So when you reach a certain point, the they say, okay, this is how much money you have that is just sitting. You can take that money and you can invest it in here. You can buy some things, you can do some things. What do you want to do with the money? You already own a shop. It may be time to open up a second location, or a lot of times, like depending on if you want to save money in taxes, you want to buy money, you want to buy items for your business, and you'll be able to write that off. So they're like, okay, it's almost the end of the year. You need to make a purchase of about this much money so we can save you on the tax end. So that's why you see a lot of companies that donate. They'll donate a lot of money, and it's because they're going to write it off. It's going to help them save money on their tax bill in the coming year. So we were just talking about different vehicles that you can buy. I think if your vehicle weighs over 5,000 pounds or something like that, then you can write that entire vehicle off in the first year. Like it's just so many different things. And so I'm like, bro, I'm just taking notes. I'm soaking it all up because I'm like, man, this is crazy. I never thought that I would be digging into this side of any business, and this is information that will go with me. Even if I leave the industry and do something else, I can take this information with me. And so I'm just looking forward to seeing how much I'll know in a year and how much I've grown and actually utilized the information. You said, what about benefits? What do you mean, Carlos? Can you be a little bit more specific? My auntie's on here. Knowledge is power. Yes. Knowledge is definitely power. That's why a lot of people didn't want certain people to learn how to read back in the day. Yeah, what do you mean by benefits, Carlos? Are you saying like kind of like benefits through a job, like where you get like medical and dental? Are you talking about that? It's not like that. Yeah, so you're saying health insurance and stuff. Um, Health insurance, you're gonna have to go independent. You're gonna have to go and get your own through the state, unless, like for me, I'm married and my wife, she has insurance. She covers the family, through her job. So other than that, yeah, we do. We actually talk about 401ks and retirement funds, and investing. I think Bazio is real big into having investments and multiple streams of income. I personally don't invest yet, but I will be. I will be. Right now, I'm not on that. I'm not on it. To me, it kind of seems a little risky. So I'm still not super convinced. I understand it. My wife, she got a 401k and all that stuff, but I'm like, man, this is gambling. It just seems like gambling to me. Like, bro, you put your money into here, and anything can happen to it. And we just seen like with the whole crash, but you got a lot of people that's been making a lot of money off of the stock market and investing and all those different things. So I don't know what's going on with the crypto thing, but I just seen a little post that said like four of the top crypto creators and billionaires have been found dead within like the last month's time since like late October till now. I'm like, man, that's crazy. What's going on, Mike? You at school? What kind of school you got? Where you at for it to be that you still in school? All right. Let's see. So check your Instagram. You send me a message. All right. Let me get this pulled up. All right, and I definitely need multiple angles, Carlos. If it's not multiple angles, we're not gonna do it. Like, because like I showed you in the other video, in the other pictures, it just gives you one sided. So you want to make sure that I can see both sides all around, so that I can tell you if your haircut is balanced. It says you might have a drop fade that's like a mid drop fade on this side, and it might be a low drop fade on that side, and all I saw was this side, then like how am I going to be able to critique you on it? So if you can get multiple angles, yeah, see, these look good, but it's just one angle. So when you cut hair tomorrow, if you're cutting tomorrow, try to get multiple angles. Let's see, I think I see a video on here. Let's see. Okay, I got this video right here. Let me send it to my, I don't know if I can save the video. One, save. Okay, yeah, I was able to save it. I'm gonna send it over to my computer right now. Okay, you're in California, bro. You in there late. You at the school super late. Yeah, oh, my cousin's in here. Hey, check out my family that hopped up in here. She said she opted out of her 401k until she learns more. Honestly, like for the 401k, that money that you're making through your job, you definitely want to leave it. So what that is, it's just coming down to compound interest. So as over time, that money is going to grow and grow and grow. I wouldn't have taken it out until I had something else to put it into, because you're not gonna lose it. If I'm not mistaken, I think that the 401k might follows the S&P 500, which is like it's like this. So it goes up and down, but it's constantly up as it's going up and down. So you'll make money over time. Y'all got night school for? Is this for Barbara and Mike? I have some vids, but I think it's yeah. Carlos, this video definitely looks. It definitely looked kind of old, bro. Yeah. So over time, like that money, just think like 20 years from now, that the compound interest on that is going to be crazy. Like it's going to be worth a lot of money, and you just taking it out. If you're just sitting on it, if then you're losing money. If you don't have your money in, if you pulled it out, I'd say put it into a high interest yield account. Find you a high interest yield savings account. There is one, I can't think of the name. It's online based only, but if you needed the money, it usually takes like you can get it the next day. It's not the same as like just going to the bank and I can just pull it out right now. But you want the money to be sitting in there, because at the rate of inflation, like if you got $10,000 sitting, like it's not worth 10,000. So if you have it in something where it's getting interest, then it's actually going to be worth more money. You're not losing money at such a fast rate, which is something that a lot of us we were just never taught. Most set aside, put into other small investments. But yeah, agreed. Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's good that you're actually investing it and doing something with it. But the rest of that, you might as well just put it into a little high yield interest savings account. Sandman, you say you got an IRA? You got the Roth IRA? All right, so we're gonna look at a video. This, Carlos, are you sure you want to look at this video? It's really not that clear, bro. Like, I know you said it's old. Let's wait. Let's wait. Are you cutting hair tomorrow, Carlos? If you cut tomorrow, give me a video that's not like this. This looks like this was recorded a few years back. Because I want it to be clear, and it's not super duper clear. But other than that, man, anybody else got any questions about anything financials, anything barber related or not? Made small dividends off a couple of. Okay, let's go. See, like you wouldn't. How did you find the things that you wanted to invest in, Angie Renee? Like, are these opportunities that you sought out, or was it people saying, "Hey, I got this thing over here that it can make some good money for you if you just put a little bit in"? It's my cousin. He's doing this thing. He's starting up this business. Like, how did you find these opportunities to invest? Because I think that's important as well when it comes to finding like what you trust. I know a lot of people when I ask them about stock market, they're like, just invest in the things that you know. Like if you like Nikes, then you want to get some Nike stock. If you always use a certain deodorant, see if they're traded publicly and invest in that. Just do what you know. And it's just like, I hear you, but I don't know, because I always hear about companies tripping out. Like the stock is up 1 minute, then the stock is down. So I'll just be like, nah, not yet, not yet. Sandman said he wanted to see that video. Let's see. I can share my screen. Let me pull it up. I'll pull it up for you, Sandman. Okay, Angie Renee says, just learning and listening to people who I would trade currencies with and then focusing on similar markets. It's all a risk too, so knowing what you can and can't risk. Yeah, that's definitely it is. It's what it is. They say high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward. I just don't know because, like I said, I'm not even a gambler. Like, I can go to Las Vegas tomorrow and kick it with everybody and have a great time. I'm not putting nothing in no machine. I can't do it. I think about like how quickly I can lose the money, and so the risk and the reward factor does not, like, I don't comprehend it. I'm like, nah, I'm always thinking like I'll lose that. And then I'm gonna think about what I could have got if I just said, okay, I'm gonna play $100 on slot machine or something. And then you lose the $100 and it's like, man, I could have did this or this with that $100. Like, there's no amount of money that I'm just okay with just losing, so it's hard for me to gamble. And like I said, I look at the stock market as a form of gambling. She said 100. Yeah, I can't do it. Let me get this video pulled up for Sandman before you get on my head. Who we all got on here? We got 11 people in here right now, and we got 6 likes. Can we get the likes up? If you're here, just check in if you haven't liked it already. Carlos says, I went to a 4-year college, and in my finance class, he said we only know one thing for sure, that if it goes up, meaning stocks, it must always come down. That's true. You look at Tesla, you look at all these different stocks that were hot stocks for the longest, and now they're not exactly what they once were. You look at crypto, it's not exactly what it once was, and everybody jumps on it. And the people at the top, they make their money. They make some really good money. But for those of us who get on and we might get into it late, you know, it's kind of tough for us. But really quick, I guess I didn't introduce myself. We might have some new people on here. I'm Christopher Manyweather. This is Dead Stock Barbershop, and right now we're just chopping it up. Oh, hold on, let me go back to interview mode. Let me put this back on here. So I'm Christopher Manyweather. This is Dead Stock Barbershop, and we are just chopping it up. I'm doing Vlogmas. For those of you guys who do not know what Vlogmas is, it is a challenge that YouTubers take on every December, where we drop some sort of content every day for the month, for the entire month of December, or you can do for up until Christmas. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've done for the last couple of years. And so my choice of content is going to be vlogs, not vlogs, but lives each night. But I might do like a vlog just to show you guys, like, hey, I'm going to the shop. This is what my day looks like. One of these days, I'll probably just set up my camera in my suite and just go live like for my shift if I can. I don't even know how long you can actually go live on YouTube. I don't know if there's a limit to it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So we're here tonight. We're just chopping it up. We've covered some financial talk. We've covered a little bit about investing. And so right now, one of my guys on here, his name is Carlos, and he wants us to look at a video of a haircut that he's done. And so I'm going to pull it up right now. I'm going to switch over to my other, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So give me just a second while I clear some of this stuff off my computer. All right, so let me know if you guys can see it. You guys got that? All right, so this is the video. 50
Say do or die. So I talk till I drop. You say how could I have a heart made of stone? Why you
Hold on, I gotta mute the noise, the sound, so we don't get flagged by YouTube. So give me just a second, and let's see, movie.
sipping wine? Oh, when we synchronize.
I need to figure out how to just mute this audio. I don't. Oh, right here. There we go. All right, you guys should still be able to hear me. Yeah, so this is the cut. Let's just look at it from straight on. First thing I notice, and somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Let me know right now before I start talking. Can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up. Give me a 100 sign. Say yes. Say something. Anybody? Anybody? Can y'all hear me? Can anybody hear me? All right. Can you hear me, Carlos? Okay. Thank you, Sandman. Jeez, he over here talking about the quality like he ain't the one who sent the video. All right. So just looking at it from the front view. So the first thing I noticed. So let's just look at this edge up. Can we zoom in at all? It won't let me zoom in anymore. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, dang. It won't let me zoom in anymore. So looking at this edge up, you know, most times when we're doing these lineups, we're looking for a square line. So if I'm trying to make this line square across, then look at this. You see how it curves? You did a little bit better over here, and like you said, I know this is an old video. I don't know why you sent the old video since you're trying to get critiqued so you can get better now, but I'm gonna do it just because you sent it and you asked. Um, so even these two sides don't match. So this side is very round here, so much more round than this little area here. But what you want to do is on this, I'll show you from the side. So the way that you avoid this looking round, because if you look from the side right here, it doesn't really look round like that. The problem is his head is round. His head is rounding right over here in this area. It starts to curve. His head is not flat. So since his head is curving, I'll pull this up so you can look at me. Since his head is curving this way, you're going to have to adjust for that with your trimmers. How do you do that? By curving this line up a little, slightly. So if you just follow, trying to go sideways like that, it's always going to look rounded. And then from this angle right here, you want to slightly, instead of making this straight up and down, you're going to have to slightly angle this back a little bit. And so looking at them from the front, what that does, it'll give the illusion that it's straight, but from this angle, from the front, since you didn't angle it backwards at all, oh, I'm sorry, let me go back. So let me go back over here, sorry. So if you would angle this back a little bit, like not curve it, but slant it just a little bit, angled towards the top here, like that, then when you turn them to the front, it's going to give the illusion that it is straight up and down. But if you don't do that, then it's going to look like it's leaning towards you. And if you don't angle this area right in here, if you don't make that angle up like this, then it's going to give the illusion that it's sloping down. And that's not what we want. You want a nice square line up. And then also in here, you just see like it's a little wavy. I don't know if you kind of went in right here or if his hair texture is causing that. That's why I don't really like this video, because it's not really clear. So so next time you send in a video, let's just try to send in like something clear with a newer camera, please. Also, you have a pretty solid line of demarcation right here, little weight line that could have been blended out. As well as, it looks like you tapered it pretty good. I like the taper. This line could just be so much sharper. It kind of curves. And so remember, we're making straight lines. We don't want to have any curvature in there. You want this to curve in the C-cup area, but not in here. Let's turn it. Man, this is a rough canvas because he has so many. I say for what you gave him, you did good. As you guys can see, he has so many dips and divots and all of these spots that are going on. The wrinkles in his scalp make it a tough haircut. The thing is, let's just say if you went in with the number 1 all around here, right? All of this is a number 1. Yeah. Hey, you bless that man for what his head is. Hey, trust me, I'm not talking down. I am critiquing. So this is the information that's going to help you get better. If you did a number 1 in this whole area right here, these spots will still look dark. Why? Because it's a crease. So one thing that you can do is whatever, let's just say you used let's just say you use like a 1 guard. Yeah, let's say you used a 1 guard in here. Then I would drop down only in these creases with a half, maybe halfway, and start to lighten it up. So then it gives the illusion. So haircutting is all about illusions and appearances. So you can make it look even all the way around by making it shorter in these areas. You'll be lighting those areas up. This dark spot right here, you want to go in there with your clippers and just lighten that up. This one right here, this one right here. But if you do it all the same length, it's going to look like this, where it's so easy to tell. Also, some customers, you have to recommend the best haircut for their hair, for their head shape, and for their scalp. So like somebody like this, I might recommend a drop fade. Look what, if he had a number 3 drop fade or a 4 drop fade, all the fade is down here, and look at where all the creasing and everything starts. You know what I'm saying? All of this would be covered up. It would still be dark. So this wouldn't be exposed. You wouldn't see that, hey man, this guy's scalp is rough. And so that's some of the things that we do as professionals. We recommend what works best for the client's head. Like you can even see from this angle, like look at his head. It's a lot of waviness going on. So I would give him like a low fade. I would recommend a low fade. But if he's against it, I'd recommend it. Tell him why. Show him, give him a mirror, show him from the back. Hey, this is what I see. This is the haircut you've been getting. Have you ever considered this? Have you ever considered doing a drop fade? It would go better with how your head is. And if I give him all that information and he's like, nah, I'm cool, then cool. I'll give you whatever you want. But I made my professional analysis or a suggestion, and whether you receive it, you receive it. If you don't, you don't. 9 times out of 10, they'll try, especially if it's something he hasn't tried. And he's like, okay, yeah, I really don't like how my head looks anyway. You know, look at this huge dark spot in here. You know, like but down here, you don't really see anything. His hair is just wrinkly up in this area. And so I'm dropping this fade. I'm trying to let him know, like, bro, I can give you the best haircut for you if we do that. And you kind of, and it is a drop fade. Like, you got them. It's just, I guess you consider this more like a mid drop fade because you can see it goes, you know, light and it drops down the darkest point. But I would do more of this would be dark if I did it. It would be a really low drop fade. I don't know exactly what you did with the clippers in here, what guard you use. Your boy just got a crazy head shape, man. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, a lot of time if you leave the hair longer, you can give the illusion of that it's not. I'm sorry if this is your little brother or something, man. sorry, Carlos. I should have asked who is it. He's like, man, that's my dad, bro. But nah, man. Yeah, that's just some things that you can do to help. Like that's what the client consultation is for. So like I told you guys before, my consultations are it's a haircut, for an hour for your first haircut, because I have to be able to look and see and feel like, bro, I'm rubbing the head, I'm combing through it, I'm looking, this is your first haircut, and I don't want any surprises, so you can ask those questions. Is there anything like that you feel like I should know? A lot of people are like, man, I got this weird bump right here. I've had it since I was a kid. Can you be careful? I don't want you to cut it off. I don't. So, yeah, man. But other than that, man, good job for what that was. But for what you can do with it, especially for it being an old video, yeah, not bad at all. The fade was good. So what I was talking about is how to detail and make that look even better, as well as with the consultation, we can avoid a lot of those troubles. And for some of my guys, let's just say they have those wrinkles even lower, then I'm going to suggest, like, let's bring it up over that. So when I do bald it out, I'm going to pass that up, and now it doesn't look like that. I'm not doing a bunch of extra work trying to brighten up these dark spots when I can just avoid them by cutting over it, putting my bald line over that. So those are just some tricks that I do, some things that I do to try to get the best results for each client, because it's always going to differ. But guys, that's been my time for the night, man. It's been 50 minutes. Thank you guys for coming out and rocking with your boy. I appreciate the engagement. For those of you guys that are here that checked in, We will be here tomorrow night. I'm probably gonna start it around like 9 o'clock. Let's get in here a little bit earlier so we can spend some more time, get it in. I'm thinking about doing a poll or maybe like some Q&A questions, which you guys might want answered if I post it on Instagram or something. Um, if not, if I don't do that, just come in here with a question tomorrow, something that you've been wanting to ask a seasoned barber, or something that's just been on your mind, or something that might just pop up tomorrow night. But other than that, man, thank you guys for joining me. I'm Christopher Manyweather. This is Dead Stock Barbershop, and I am signing off. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.